All right, and welcome to Jeremy and Joe replacing Ken and Joe this week. How you doing, Joe?
Good, how you doing?
Fantastic. Other than this damn cold.
Yeah.
So, what's new in your neck of the woods? You hear anything out there on the on?
Nah. Yesterday was kind of a crazy day, man. Like I uh I was picking up my kids from school and so as we're leaving the school, there's this kid that goes to my daughter's school. They all know him because it's a small school, private school, and like he rides his bike home from school. So he's like about a half a block or a block ahead of us. And as we're pulling up to this stop sign at this kind of busy street, he like tries to shoot
Oh
through the
boy!
intersection and gets smacked full on by this Toyota Tundra, and he flew about 30 or 40 feet through the air, dude. Lands on the pavement and like slides into this fence. So I stopped the car and just like jumped out and ran over to him, and he's like trying to get up, and I'm like, no, 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 just stay there, dude. Just lay down. Don't move. And he's like, oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm like, you think you're okay, but you don't know you're okay. Like adrenaline is pumping. Like, let's not make anything worse. And so my daughters are like, they got out of the car, they're behind me, they're crying because they see him, like they saw what happened, and like he's okay, thank God. Like they airlifted him to this in Davis. Davis is the only level 1 pediatric trauma center in Northern California, so they airlifted him from the hospital here to Davis, and he spent the night in the hospital, like,
Is he
doing
good?
tests and everything. But it looks like he's going to escape with just some cuts and scratches, man.
God blessed him.
Yeah, dude. Like he had
Well,
somebody in his
God bless
corner
you
for
for
sure.
helping him.
Well, I mean, I, I, yeah,
I know
I,
you're
I don't
like
know what
me.
to, I
It's a
don't know what to
kid.
say to that. Yeah, I just saw a kid get hit and just ran over there. Like, you don't even think in moments like that. Like the only thing you're thinking is like, let's just make sure this kid's all right, or like, let's get 911 called. And it was, especially it was hard because my kids know him. Like they're friendly with him. They're not necessarily like hang out with him every day kind of friends, but like I said, it's a small school. It's like 100 kids total, and so they're yeah, dude.
Yeah, that I remember you talking about that, Fred. That shook you up bad. Um, and I'm quite sure this shook up Joe bad because this is one of his kids' friends that everybody knows at the school. But good thing you were there
And yesterday, like we ended the show yesterday. Remember, we were talking about like Ed
at
Oliver
Oliver's.
losing a
Yeah,
child, and I've lost a child. You've
I've
lost a
lost a child.
child, right? It's like so that was kind of going through my head when I first saw him get hit. Is like, oh man, like we were just talking about that, and like I hope this kid's gonna be okay. And thankfully he is okay. So
Yeah.
he might that his teacher, like, so I ran back to the school after I talked to the police. I stayed, gave a statement to the police. I was like, you know what, the school needs to know about this so they could try to call his mom or whatever. So I went back to the school and told the teacher. And so his personal teacher, his teacher ended up going and spending the night up there in the hospital with him and stuff. Like I said, it's a
Wow.
small school. Everybody's really close. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like a big family. And
And
so, but the good news is his teacher said, there's a chance like he'll actually end up, because they're all going to Yosemite next week for the middle school bonding trip. So he's like, there's a chance he'll make it to Yosemite, dude. Like, so.
what's up, Will?
What's up, everybody?
Um, and of
So
course,
I
right
wasn't focused
after,
on football much after that.
yeah, and then right after I got done going live, the news of Dolly Parton passing came across. The Queen of Country passed away yesterday
Dude,
at University of Vanderbilt.
oh my gosh. It's so sad. But you know what? I hope people don't forget, besides being a country musician, helped she helped people with literacy. She gave a lot of
Oh
money
yeah,
to charities and stuff. She was a great overall. human.
My
I
youngest
don't. Yeah.
son's first library was from her reading
Mhm.
station that she created. That every month he'd get 2 books.
I don't. I mean, like, I'm not. This might come across as insensitive, but I definitely don't mean it that way. Like, obviously, it's sad when anyone dies, right? But I don't like. She was 80, which is, I mean, yeah, that's not like super old, but she lived a great life. Like, she was a wonderful person. Like, I just, a lot of people are looking at this as like a tragedy, and I'm like, it's a tragedy
No,
it's a tragedy for us, for the people who are left behind, that we lose a person
and
like that,
it's more of a
right?
tragedy to the country music world, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
As far as her as a person, yes, she lived a full life. But the bad part is, it's another one of those ones where you're like, why do they got to take the good ones at that age? Why couldn't it be Bernie Sanders?
Careful,
You know what
JB.
I'm
You're gonna get
saying?
yourself
No,
in trouble.
I'm just saying.
I know.
There's
I don't
there's old
disagree with you,
people
but
we
I'm just
don't
saying.
like. There's old
Yeah,
people
there's
we
plenty.
don't like. Why haven't they have it passed? Why haven't
Why
they
take
passed
Dolly,
away?
right? Like,
You know,
everybody, like,
what's
you can't find anyone that's willing to say anything bad about Dolly Parton, right?
No.
Like,
And if
you
it is,
would,
it's because they had a ride that malfunctioned at Dollywood.
probably.
yeah,
But
like,
yeah, she did a lot of good stuff,
mhm.
not only for music but for other stuff. Sorry, I was in the middle of a stretch.
I could tell, he should. Yeah, go ahead.
But no, she was overall phenomenal person, and yeah, she
Yeah,
will be
she
missed.
really used her platform that country music gave her to try to, like, do the most good for the most people that she absolutely could. It's a
Yeah,
life well lived.
yep, and it's just it's sad, is what it
Yeah,
is.
it's sad. It's sad because, like I said, everybody loves Dolly, right? Like, but
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I mean, heck, how many times has a waitress that hasn't acted on screen for 30 years get to go up with one of the biggest Disney childhood stars before Disney got corrupt with Hannah Montana?
yeah, that's it. Her goddaughter.
But she walked in and it was like she commanded the stage. Everybody, even Miley didn't know she was being written in. That was a
No,
surprise for her birthday because that actually was her birthday when that episode was filmed.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I grew up a Disney. I'm a '90s kid, so I grew up during that time.
And that's why Miley kind of went, she stammered.
Exactly.
Her godmother that she hadn't seen because she had just done a tour for a while pops up on her birthday being filmed.
Yeah,
That would shock me as a 13 or 14-year-old.
yeah, and you know what's crazy? It's sad because Dolly passed on Billy Ray's birthday.
Right. Billy Ray Cyrus's birthday.
Yep.
so do we have any news about Joey Porter?
Joey Porter Jr. is still waiting to be traded. That's all we know.
Yeah.
I just
Well,
opened
are the Steelers
ESPN.
actively shopping him though, or is it like, are they taking phone calls?
They're taking phone calls. That's what I'm hearing. They've had calls from about 6 to 8 teams.
Yeah.
But the fact they haven't moved him means they haven't gotten what they wanted offered in compensation yet.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get what they're asking for.
I think they'll get 2 first.
Do you? And then
Jalen
so a team
Ramsey-
is going to give up 2 first and then turn around and sign him to a record or a market-setting deal. Like,
because everybody
that's a lot.
knows that the cap keeps going up, and these market-setting deals at every position is going to keep happening. But eventually, once the new CBA in 2030 comes out, we're going to have a plateau at where the ceiling cap or salary cap is going to have a ceiling.
Oh yeah. It will definitely plateau.
But I think that the Steelers did themselves a disservice, like, because you're trying to trade this guy during training camp when everybody already spent a good chunk of their free agent money, right? Like, you would if you're the Steelers and you felt like you wanted to trade this guy, or you felt like you wanted to trade before the draft or before free agency started, would have been a much better time,
Right. But they did themselves a disservice, but they're not doing Joey Porter Jr. a disservice. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but they did themselves a disservice. And at the
Right.
end of the day, teams are out for themselves. Like, I think that that's another reason that I think that they're not going to get quite what they want, is because they waited so long. It's so close to the season starting. How many teams have the money right now? I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be that big of a roadblock, because you can always put money into next year. Like, you can always backload it.
He's under contract this year. It doesn't count this year.
Yeah.
So every team has the money right now except for 10.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 10 teams that are in cap trouble next year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the usual culprits. It's the Browns. It's the Saints. It's even there's a couple other ones from other divisions. None of the teams in our division are really in that one. The Bears, the Lions, and the Vikings all gave a solid offer for Porter, because it's based off of next year's salary. It's not based off of this year's salary cap.
I think the Lions need him the most out of the division. Rather than seeing him go to Green Bay, I'd rather see him go to Detroit, because he would help
Green Bay's not in a good place next year salary cap wise, because that's Jordan Love's big cap hit year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also Micah Parsons.
Yeah. I would like this. I wouldn't mind seeing him go to Detroit. I think he could help out their secondary help.
I think he could help every team outside of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but Detroit has some big time questions in the secondary, so adding a player like that would definitely go a long way.
So, Broncos linebacker Alex Singleton says Bo Nix is playing out of his mind heading into year 3. And I understand, it's his teammate, but it's not very often you hear it from the defensive side of the ball. Usually you're hearing it from the wide receivers or the tight ends or the running backs or the coaches. You were hearing this from one of their star linebackers.
Yeah.
And that's kind of insane that somebody on the defensive side of the ball is giving the praise. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not really sold on Bo Nix, but maybe he comes out this year and he proves all the doubters wrong, including me. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, Sean Payton is his head coach. Like, I respect Sean Payton as a coach. I think he's a great coach. Doesn't right. I get what you're saying about a defensive player, but it's training camp, and we'll see what 35. Happens when he's playing real.
Porter is asking for $35 million a year. He wants to be the highest paid, because there is one that's getting paid $33.75 right now, and that was who got that big deal last season, if I remember right.
$35 million a year for a corner.
I like Bo Nix personally. I liked him in college, yes, even with his struggles at Auburn, and when he went to Oregon, I liked him even more. So I'm hoping he does well again this year, because he has 2 solid receivers. He has Courtland Sutton, and then he has Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, this is the first time he'll have 2 solid receivers, because his rookie year, Jerry Jeudy didn't do shit.
No, yeah. Jerry Pooty.
It was basically the Courtland Sutton show. It was like, if they were going to go anywhere offensively, it was like Courtland was going to have to catch the ball.
It was Courtland, Javonte Williams out of the backfield. They didn't even have RJ Harvey yet. He was last year's draft pick. Yep. But I said coming out, I thought Bo Nix would be one of the best quarterbacks out of that draft class.
I did too.
I didn't. I being honest, didn't. I can't, you can't retroactively be like, I said he was going to be great. Like,
I
No,
I
I'm not
literally-
talking about you. I'm talking about me. Like
Right.
I'm saying, I was not on the bandwagon, so I'm not going to jump on now.
The only reason why I said is because he was the most NFL pro ready is because he was one of the few that had a different offensive coordinator every year he started. Even though he dealt with injuries off and on early in his tenure, he had to learn a new system and he got better every year. And NFL
Good morning,
is
Graham. Says.
there is a lot of people that have to rotate. There's how much coaching continuity as they're actually on NFL teams anymore. There's not a lot.
Yeah.
Who are they starting at running back? Are they going with Dobbins?
Harvey,
RJ Harvey.
probably.
Harvey?
Yep. Harvey and I believe Dobbins is the two. It's their 1A, 1B type thing.
That sounds right. You know what's so funny about Harvey? Speaking of RJ Harvey, he wears an unusual number for a running back. He wears 13.
I really don't like when players do that.
Well, too bad. That's today's NFL. We got defensive end and linebackers wearing single digits now.
Yeah, we got guys wearing 0.
0 was never an issue, but it used to be if you wanted 0, you had to wear 00. That's why nobody ever wore it.
Yamato.
So they changed it to a single 0, and now people want to wear it. Agent 0.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see about his ankle as well, how his ankle holds up. Because Sean Payton said something that in the offseason that was kind of raised my eyebrow. You know, he said it was basically that injury was bound to happen because Bo's had issues with that ankle before. And nobody really knew it. And Bo Nix was actually kind of upset that Peyton put it out there. Like there was a little bit of beef between them, but there was a little misunderstanding between them for a little while during the offseason because of that. But
So Aaron Donald has not been back at the Rams facility for 3 straight weeks now since he did his appearance 3 weeks ago. And Sean McVay was asked about it. He says, with cutdown day approaching, McVay says the Rams are ready whether Donald returns or remains retired, signaling real uncertainty that he's coming back.
yeah,
I don't think Donald comes back. I think it was just to make noise and talk about the show excitement. He was probably there to show excitement for the Miles Garrett trade.
This is year 4 of his retirement. I'm telling you, somebody said, dude, you go back and play. You reset your clock to another 5 years before you're voted into the Hall of Fame. That has to wear on you when you know you're a first ballot Hall of Fame defender.
yeah. But at the same time, if he comes back and the Rams win the Super Bowl, then in 5 years, he's also going to be a lock.
Oh.
And I think he definitely moves the needle for them, especially after they just went and got Myles Garrett. Can you imagine, even if Aaron Donald is only 60% of what he was before, he's still like up there in the top of the league with current defensive tackles. So you put him next to Myles Garrett, like that's scary for any team, dude.
It's scary, but I don't think they need Donald to come out of retirement to be a scary defense.
They're already a scary defense.
Yeah, I don't know, man. His last season was 2023, and he was all pro, first team. But
no, I'm not saying Donald's not scary. It's just I'm saying is that they don't need him to come out of retirement. Like I said, they already have.
Oh no, I'm not
scary
disagreeing.
defense.
I don't even think he physically could play in the NFL anymore.
Sure,
Personally.
they got Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs, which was
They got 2 of them.
very solid.
They got
player.
2 of they got the Chiefs 2 best secondary.
Watson and McDuffie. Yeah.
Well, the thing people got to realize is he's 35 years old now, right?
Yeah.
And he was always an undersized defensive tackle, like 6'1", 280, 290 at the most. Under 300 pounds as a defensive tackle is small. So, yes, he was very powerful. Everyone knows that, like fucking
I
superhuman
agree with
strength,
you.
right? But what he's going to lose and what separates you at every level of the NFL, from Division 1 to the NFL, everything is your quickness, your burst, and agility. I mean, that's really what it is. What do I think him being an undersized D tackle? Yeah, okay, he still might be strong, but is he going to be nearly as quick as he was off the ball? Is he going to have the same kind of moves? Personally, I doubt it. I just think it's hard to walk away from the game for 2 years, especially being over 35 years old, and come back and be able to play.
Yeah, but look at Von Miller. Like, walk away, right? Like Von Miller, I think he'll contribute something to the Cowboys. I don't think he's going to be an All-Pro, but Aaron Donald,
but
like he's
he's
still
not in the
putting videos up
trenches.
where
He's not in the trenches, though. You know what I mean? He's not lining up like
yeah,
over the
but
guard or outside the
Donald
guard's
is still-
shoulder, or
true.
know.
And yeah, I'm not trying to like say that your point holds no weight. I'm just offering a counterpoint.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Donald has been posting videos of him pushing fucking school buses, dude. Like I think he, I think he still has something in the tank. Like
Again, the strength is there. To me, it's the agility and the burst and the quickness, which pulling a school bus really isn't going to show you.
That's true, but I think he could do it. Maybe he's not going to have an All-Pro season, but I think he'll contribute if he comes back, and that contribution could be what puts them over the top.
I agree with what Yinzer said, that Aaron Donald must be kind of doing what Aaron Rodgers must be doing. It must be an Aaron thing. Everybody
wow.
that, I think that's funny as hell, and I agree with it, kind of.
Shout out Yinzer.
What's up, Yinzer? You jag off.
Yins.
Shout out Jago.
Whenever I say jag off, I feel like I'm the
and I kind of agree. If he does come back, what it is he's going to work out all year. He's not going to play. He's not even going to sign at the beginning of the season. He's going to wait till they're in the playoffs, get in shape, and then sign and be there in the playoffs. Because
Possibly.
we how many times have we seen, this blockbuster trade makes them an automatic Super Bowl contender, and then the team doesn't even make the playoffs? How many times have we seen this?
Yeah.
Possible.
I could see it happening around the trade deadline. Like if the Rams get off to a good start and the trade deadline is looming, I could see him coming in so that he doesn't have to go for a full season, but
And
I could see it
happening. Grandma Chase. I see more towards the end of the season. If he signs, it's going to be around December, with only a month left in the season, very few reps to hurt how many snap counts he can actually be effective.
Yeah.
I could see it happening never.
And I can see that too.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it was the 2022-23 season, correct? That was the year he retired.
Yep.
That's why I said this is year 4, 26-27.
Yeah, but if you have a chance,
he may say, screw it. I'm going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, whether I get a second ring or not, because look at who's coming out with them. It's a bunch of scrubs and a couple of has-beens compared to his stats. I mean, the only one he's got to contend with is Eli Manning with his 2 Super Bowls and the worst regular season stats of any QB.
Sheila.
I don't know. The appeal of that second ring is strong, man. Like if you really, I think it just comes down to
if the
what he
appeal
believes.
was that strong, he'd have already signed.
Think so?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's being practical.
If I'm going to do, he said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it soon. Because I remember the interview. It was back before he even visited the Rams. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it soon. He went and visited the Rams for a week and then never came back.
Yeah. I don't know. If I was Aaron Donald and I saw the team that the Rams have right now and that I could be a contributor, I would consider it. Like
the only problem is he has to be signed prior to the playoffs. That's why I said December is the key. December is the month that is the key.
Very true.
They signed him the last week of December, right before the playoff run.
Well, no, he has to play an active game too. He can't just be on a roster. He has to play active in a game. So that's why I said if he signs, it's going to be like the beginning of December. He may play the week of Christmas in week 17.
Yeah.
That gives him 3 weeks to assimilate because guess what? The defensive coordinator is not the same guy as it was when he played there either. So he's got a new defensive playbook.
Yeah.
Reggie, I agree with you. Aaron Donald is pulling the Rodgers diva card, holding a team hostage. Is he going to sign? Is he not? I don't know.
He's not.
Them Best Buy Geek Squad employees ain't doing shit. That's funny because Aaron Donald was on one of the commercials for Best Buy's Geek Squad. That's what makes it funny.
Oh, I was about to say, I'm like, what?
Well, in other news, there's 2 players on the trading block that their teams are actively shopping right now.
Joey Porter Jr.
Well, I don't know if he's actively being shopped, but I had two other players. So defensive tackle Gavon Dexter on the Bears and tight end Jatavian Sanders on the Carolina Panthers are actively being shopped. The Packers have expressed interest in Jatavian Sanders from the Panthers.
Well, yesterday we heard about Calvin Austin being carted off, and they thought they dodged a major injury. But when he went in for his MRI this morning, wide receiver Calvin Austin III is out for the 2026 season with a torn ACL. Another one, we had 2 more injuries for the Seahawks too. Safety Clark and offensive lineman Richmond are both ruled out for the 2026 season after their post-injury update.
That's unfortunate too, because I really liked Bud Clark. Like I wanted the Raiders to draft him, and I that dude is. I feel like he's going to be a good player. That's unfortunate. And I thought it was an excellent move by the Seahawks taking him too, because they already had a pretty strong a pretty good defense. Like, I figured that would be a great opportunity for him.
What's funny is we're talking about all these ACL injuries. They're not happening post game, and we already said that there's 13 teams that have turf for their field, whether indoors or outdoors. It's not happening in the games. They're happening on the practice fields. And 100% of the practice fields, due to the NFLPA and the NFL agreeing, are all grass. There's not one single practice facility with turf. I still say it's due to every year we reduce how much practice they get.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's more than just the like ACLs and stuff that get torn out. The grass, it's constantly hitting the ground with your head. I think it adds more cushion to having a dirt and grass field as opposed to artificial.
But what we're saying is there's already, let's see, we're up to 20 ACLs on the practice fields this season. You know how many more that is than last year? 12.
I mean, these athletes, man, they need so much torque, so much strain, such quick cutting ability. Like, yeah, I mean, your body can only take so much. I don't know if I can really blame it on anyone other than like just humans becoming more athletic and just pushing themselves even more. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, honestly, like it is it's definitely odd this offseason.
Here's something else to consider, because this was said by a sports therapist, somebody outside of the NFL, outside of NBA, outside of all of them. And he goes, with bigger, stronger, faster equals tighter joints. Tighter joints, if not stretched properly, are easier to get tore. So as they get bigger and stronger and they keep working out and making their muscles as tight as they possibly can to be physically fit with less body fat, that is why we are seeing an increase in injuries over the past 6 seasons versus any other time in any professional sport.
Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, guys, I've got to bounce. I've got to go to work. I'll be back maybe tomorrow, but for sure Friday show.
Peace out to the Tom Cruise of podcasting, of sports
Yeah,
talk radio.
That's Danny Dimes' illegitimate son. I'm not changing that. That's what I've been calling him ever since he's been a part of my podcast.
I'll see you tonight, JB. JB, I'll see you on round table.
I heard you, brother. I was just laughing at my joke.
Oh, I know. I love it.
I heard the only way Steelers trade Porter is if a team offers 2 firsts. Otherwise, they're just going to let him sit and franchise tag him next year. You know, I don't understand this, why teams now are not afraid of trading away young stars to get veteran talent or draft picks when they are established and good.
Yeah.
It's
said that
making no
yesterday.
sense because these guys actually still cost less in the long run because they'll play more than the aging vets you'll get to replace them.
Yeah, like if I'm the Steelers, I'm paying them. I'm locking them in.
Mhm.
I'm feeling good about it, actually. Like, you know, I mean, a young stud player at his position, I mean, that you drafted, who has been around the team his entire life, literally. Like, why not get it done? You know?
A legacy
Yeah.
player at that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand that the whole point of the draft, or the whole aim of the draft, is to get young talent that turns into stars, to grow your own talent, right? And you do that, and then you turn around and trade the guy away before his second contract. Like that to me just seems so counterintuitive.
And I get it, Yenzer, and I agree with you. It should have been a Steelers' top priority as soon as the season ended. Was he a first-round pick or a second-round pick?
He was the first pick of the second round.
Okay. So that's why they didn't. Everybody says, why didn't they exercise the 5th-year option? I was like, they couldn't.
Yeah, he was the 30. You
round.
know what it is? He was the 32nd overall pick in the draft, but that year the 32nd overall pick was the first pick of the second round.
Because the Dolphins didn't have a first-round pick due to the Stephen Ross thing with talking to Brady.
Yeah. So I think some people just say, oh, 32nd pick. He was first round. Nope. He was second round.
Yeah. And they had that pick due to a trade, too, because they weren't the worst team in the league that year because they were mediocre Mike Steelers for 17 seasons.
Yeah, I think that was the Bears trade.
Right. Oh, man. So there will be no Detroit Sports Talk at with SJB at noon today because, well, I'm tired. I've been sick. I'm making it through this show, and I'm moving on and getting ready for tonight.
Yep.
They paid a backup tight end, a backup nose tackle, a backup edge, but draw the line a top 10 cornerback. It doesn't make sense to me at all. No, it doesn't. Because that's where I'd put him is somewhere between 8 and 13 in the top corners in the league.
And here's, yeah, I mean, it's the second toughest position to play in football, in my opinion, is cornerback now.
And the only year he gave up a touchdown was his rookie season.
Mm-hmm.
There's only like 2 other corners that came out of college in the last 5 years that can say such a thing. Sauce Gardner, and I believe, even though he wasn't playing on the outside as much due to the fact they still had good players, the other one was Cooper DeJean.
Cooper's a monster.
And Quinyon Mitchell had a great year, but he gave up 4 touchdowns. And it wasn't because they were big yak where he got burnt, that type of stuff. No, it was because it was good contested catches against him. So That's four of your top 15 corners that have came out in the last 5 drafts. Think about that.
Yeah. And you're going to get rid of one of those guys. Like, I don't understand it.
Steelers are becoming the new Jets.
If I was the Raiders, I'd make an offer. Shoot. I mean, I wouldn't offer 2 first-round picks, but
If there's
Actually,
a bidding
no, I
war
wouldn't
for him,
take
you
him.
might be able to get a first-round pick for him.
I think they'll get a first round and maybe a third. I think that's the actual proper compensation for that level of play, because he hasn't been doing it for 7 years like when Ramsey got traded to the Rams. We're talking about he's still in his rookie year. He's had some minor injuries where he's missed a quarter or a half. He hasn't really missed a lot of games. So it is what it is. And then with the Isaiah Pacheco's rehab slowing, guess who comes to visit the Lions yesterday for a workout?
Isaiah Pacheco's rehab. Is he hurt?
He has a MCL strain, so there's a chance he may not be available for week 1. So guess who comes out of the free agency pool to work out with the Lions yesterday? Kareem Hunt, the guy that took over his job for the Chiefs last year, because they cut Kareem Hunt because they signed Kenneth Walker.
And Kareem Hunt's still playing. Wow. Oh,
There's no signing yet, but it's news. I'm just putting it out there because I'm not
I
doing my
actually think
Lions show.
I actually think that would be interesting to pair Kareem Hunt with Gibbs.
And when Pacheco comes back, you got a 3-headed monster instead of a 2-headed monster, because Isaiah Pacheco, when he's healthy, he's a good north and south runner. He doesn't do a lot of that east and west stuff behind the line. He tends to identify the hole and get to it. He just doesn't break a lot of contact. He either bursts through so fast he gets clean, or he gets hit 3 yards away. So you get that with Kareem Hunt, who basically is an older, slightly slower version of Gibbs, and then still have Gibbs.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I'm and this I like Pacheco. Like, he reminds me a lot of Justin Fargas, who used to play for the Raiders. Like, they're both really hard inside the tackle. They're not gonna dazzle you with making people miss, but they're tough to bring down. But I think Pacheco, the way he runs, it doesn't lend itself to a long NFL career. And you look at, he had the injury in Kansas City. Then he comes back from that injury and he kind of wasn't himself, right? And you kind of chalk it up to, oh, well, he's just coming back from a serious injury. And then now he's hurt again. Like, I know it's not like a serious injury, but I just kind of feel like the toll is kind of already starting to be taken on him. And I don't know how much he's got left to give.
He's a 5th-year running back. Let's say it what it is. He's missed an entire season basically due to injuries in his career. I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm not saying it was a bad choice to pick him up, because for the price we got him, it was a steal for the production he provides when healthy. We got him for $1.8 million. He barely counts against the salary cap. If we're able to get Kareem Hunt for next to the same amount of money, maybe a little bit more, it does not hurt this roster to have Kareem Hunt on it.
No, I agree. I like I said, I think pairing Kareem Hunt with Gibbs is an interesting prospect.
Because technically, with the way Jacob Saylor's the guy that came out of the UFL from the from the St. Louis Battlehawks, he runs more like David Montgomery than Isaiah Pacheco does. I'm not saying he's that good, but he's that style of runner, a between the tackles, hard nose, hard to take down, gonna get you that 3 to 4 yards.
Oh man! So in the Daily Huddle chat, somebody just dropped that Tim Curry died.
Wow, Dr. Frankenfurter.
Yeah. Well, Pennywise. Tim Curry was a great actor. I liked a lot of his work.
I loved him in that first one. They all float down here, Georgie.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to pair him with Gibbs. It's kind of like, you remember when he was backing up Chubb, and they had Chubb and Kareem Hunt in Cleveland. That was a good 1-2 combination.
Right, because
I
Chubb was
don't know
the
if he
power,
still got
Kareem
that.
was the speed,
Mm.
and Kareem is still fast. We saw it last year. He's just not as fast. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but he probably still has something to give.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. He's still fast. He's
Yeah.
just not as fast.
Yeah.
And Jamar Chase was carted off, but it's just
Yeah,
a strain.
saw that.
He's fine. He'll be back. Breathe easy, fantasy owners.
Yeah, shout out to the people who took him number 1 overall, huh? Or took him as their first round pick. Like, oh.
Well,
But-
he is a first round pick on fantasy. I'm sorry. He's considered a top 5 player in fantasy.
Absolutely. I wasn't saying he's not. I was saying,
Right.
like, he's going to miss time. Like, that hurts. When your number 1 player is not playing week 1.
There won't be the show Detroit Sports Talk with SJB today. I was just made that announcement when we went live, Nick Burton. You weren't here.
Yeah. So, and the good news is we're getting close, man. Like, we're getting to the last preseason games. Like, I'm ready for the season to start.
So I'm going to do a segment I normally do at the end of my show. I like it. It's kind of hard hitting. It engages the chat. I call it the rapid fire takes. Basically, I ask simple yes or no questions or whatever. And if you agree with it, it's fire. If you don't, it's ice. It's just something different to do. And because I'm not doing my show and I love doing it. So will Bo Nix have another good season, fire or ice?
Ooh.
Joe?
Come back to me. I can't give you a rapid
Come
fire on
back
that
to me,
one.
the first question.
Broski.
I'm going ice, man. I think his ankle's a problem.
I'm going to say it's more than lukewarm. It's kind of like a simmering fire.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I don't know.
Well, ice is bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, ice is bad. Fire, I think it's like slightly more than lukewarm. It's simmering. It's just a low rolling boil. Wait for it to thicken and see what the prognosis is on that ankle.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Okay. Let's see. This Calvin Austin III means that you have Malik Neighbors to start the season and a bunch of guys that wouldn't be a wide receiver 3 on any of other roster. Will this be a good wide receiver room, fire or ice? Joe?
Well, they got Carnell Tate in the draft, right? What did they get him, or was it the Titans that got
No, you're talking about the Giants. They got Malachi Fields from Notre Dame.
Malachi Fields from Notre Dame? I'm going to say fire. I'm going to say they've been waiting for somebody who can contribute alongside Neighbors, and Malachi Fields, I think, can contribute. He could end up being like a solid 2 or 3, so I'm going to say fire.
Broski?
So we're saying Neighbors is healthy? Is that what we're saying?
He could come back early in the season, but he is definitely their number 1.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ice. I have zero faith in anything offensive that the Giants are gonna do, except for I love their 2 tight ends, man. They have 2 really stud tight ends in Likely and Theo Johnson. I have zero faith in Jackson Fart or Jameis Winston. So I'm going ice, baby.
Considering Jackson Dart has already spent more time in the concussion tent than he has on the field this off season. Oof.
And Neighbors is nicked up. Like I don't know, man. I have zero faith in any wide receiver or anything for that team.
It's not subarctic for me, but it's definitely cold.
Didn't they sign Odell Beckham as well?
They
And
got
they
on
cut
the
him already.
back.
And they cut him already. They waived
Oh,
him
did they?
earlier at the end of last week.
They cut Juju already.
That was to be expected. I heard they were cutting OBJ as well.
Well, they have
If they
Darnell
didn't cut
Mooney,
OBJ.
Darius Slayton. I mean, it's basically a retirement home for wide receivers. And then, you got Malachi Fields, who basically all he does is catch jump balls, and Malik Neighbors, who could be a stud if he could ever play and if he had a quarterback, which he doesn't. So,
and I love the fact that, what's his name, Wan'Dale Robinson, and then Carnell Tate gets to be added with Cam Ward down there with the Titans. Yeah, Juju is poo-poo. He had one good season, and that was when AB was next to him. As soon as AB left, I said, look at that. It's the worst wide receiver 2 playing as a wide receiver 1. If Detroit adds Kareem Hunt, this definitely boosts their running back room. Fire or ice? I'll start with Broski because he's in our division.
fire or ice? What was the question, JB? I'm sorry.
If Detroit adds Kareem Hunt to their running back room, it makes it a very good running back room. Fire or ice?
Ice.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's been in the league 9 years. I don't know. Between him and Pacheco, I don't even know if you have one guy who's going to be out there full time. So I'm going ice.
Joe?
I'm kind of in the middle on that. I think it definitely helps their room. I think he has something, but making it a very good running back room, I don't know.
Well, it's already considered a top 5 unit in the league, so adding him can't make it worse, so it's fire. Kareem Hunt is a free agent. He has not announced his retirement. Gibbs isn't injured. That's the main thing.
How's it a top 5 room if you only have one healthy running back?
Because they consider Jahmyr Gibbs the best running back in the league right now, other than maybe Behan.
Okay, well, I would say best running back, but not best running back room. But okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So that player that got cut from the Seattle Seahawks tried to come back to college, and the Big Ten president actually stepped up and made the right rule. Big Ten officially bans former NFL players from returning to college competition. So that big tight end that got cut and that big defensive end that got cut from the 2 teams that tried to return, one to Northwestern, one to Michigan, they can't come back. And I'm glad. They don't deserve it. These 2 actually hired agents. They weren't kids without agents. Do you agree with it, fire or ice, Joe?
Fire. I mean, once you go pro, you shouldn't be able to go back.
Broski?
Yeah, fire with this one. I'm all about players getting paid. I always thought they should get paid. Even when I was young growing up, I'm like, it was easy to see. I thought they should get paid. Still do. Going to the NFL, working out with a team, getting cut, and going back to college, no. Good job, Big Ten. Hopefully the SEC follows suit.
Did SEC actually let a kid come back, or they banned it this morning, Reggie? That's what I'm trying to figure out by your message.
Don't know.
Because when they say SEC did it this morning, I was like, I hope they didn't let somebody come back.
I got a spicy one for you. I already know where Broski's gonna land on this one, but
give me a fire and ice question.
Fire and ice question. By the end of this season, Mike Washington Jr. will be pushing Ashton Genty for the starting job.
I'm gonna say ice because he's taking that job over well before the end of the season, my friend.
I'm gonna say fire, and because I bet he has it before week 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, depends how you want to take that. He might not give it back after week 1, honestly. If Genty misses week 1 and Washington starts and just tears it up, wow.
There it is. I love this rhyme line. Once you go pro, you can't go back to bro. I love
Yep.
it. And that is great. I love the fact that the Big Ten and the SEC stepped up and banned it for all sports, but especially football. Football, it's always been. You can't say that with baseball because kids get drafted out of high school and then decide not to go to the teams and go back to college. So that's different. Basketball, they can't draft you out of high school either. So basketball and football, especially.
Yeah, good for them. Good stuff.
So kudos to them doing the right thing. Yes, that does mean that the guy that tried to go back to LSU can't play. 100% Nick Burton. And I agree with it. I don't care if you had a year left of eligibility. You chose to enter the draft. You hired an agent. You became a UDFA. You didn't make a 53-man roster because you must have played horribly to get cut before cutdown day. That's all I got to say. If you get cut before cutdown day, you're not accepting coaching, you're not learning, you're not playing your position right, or you're just not that damn good.
Yeah. And one thing I always thought too, and I know this is a lot more dicey and there's a lot more legal issues involved with this. I always thought they should put an age restriction on age limit on players as well.
They finally did. They said if you are under the age of 19 when you come to college as a full-time student, so in other words, some kids graduate at 17 and turn 18 their freshman year of college. You cannot be in school by after the age of 25.
Right. No, I understand the
and they're
law,
also
and I was
making
talking.
They're also making a 5-for-5 rule. So regardless, you're only eligible to play for 5 seasons.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, if you're over the age of like 26 or something, you can't play in college anymore. Like something like that.
They can't do that because there's people that have joined the military, went overseas.
No, I know that's that's what I was saying. There's a lot more legal nonsense you would have to go through to get something like that done. But I would like to see that. Like,
I think they did it the right way by saying if you're going to graduate and you're under the age of 26, you're only eligible to play for 5 years of your college.
Yeah,
I think that is the proper way to word it.
JB, that's probably the best thing, honestly, the best you can get in that regard, And
I think they did it the right way.
Yeah.
By the time you are, I can't remember if it was 25 or 26, but they said you are only eligible for 5 years in college. Then they're doing this to limit the NIL kids from staying and playing and being like Carson Beck, who went 2 years without even taking a class, just accepting NIL money from Georgia and Miami.
Damn! Shout out Carson Beck.
That guy is, and here's the crazy thing: NIL deals, regardless of school, is automatically 4 years. He got a new NIL deal when he went to Miami. He still makes half of that while playing in the NFL for 3 more years. This year and the next 2.
Bro, he's playing on a team with nice weather, and honestly, playing on a team where he actually has a chance to take over the starting role at some point. Like, way to go, Carson Beck.
That guy's winning.
Yeah, he's winning, and he has X-ray vision. He can see through walls. So, hi.
I agree. I think the one and done rule should be done, but because they don't allow them to be plucked out of high school anymore, the NBA actually put the one and done rule into the NCAA. They lobbied for it. Because they wanted to be able to get players while they're young and develop them early, because they develop better in the NBA than they do in college. This has been 100% true, because look at all the guys that were 4 and 5 year players coming out of college. How many of them actually make it in the NBA anymore? You see them very rarely, but the hit rate is less than 20% now. Most of the guys that hit are first, second, and third year guys that come out early. And the third year guys, they were smart. They took like simple trade degrees revolved around sports and business to be able to get out earlier and not have to do a 4 or 5 year degree. Just because you go to a 4 or 5 year college doesn't mean you have to do a 4 or 5 year degree. They have undergraduate studies for bachelors and associates that don't take 4 to 5 years.
Mm-hmm. I'm doing one right now.
Congratulations, Joe.
I'm doing a dual major in 3 years, actually. So,
Joe, do you mind sharing what your dual major is?
religion and psychology.
Fantastic, sir.
Good stuff, bud.
I get it. I get it, Joe. So theology, right?
Theology and psychology, yeah. With the aim of becoming a pastor. The psychology part is, obviously will help a lot in counseling, but it's also kind of a backup plan in case for whatever reason I can't get hired. I can go do like data analysis for a tech company in the Bay Area or something,
And
Like-
it also puts you a leg into any HR department when you have
Mhm.
a counseling or psychiatry background.
Yeah, it just opens up more options.
Fantastic. So, what does everybody think going forward about the preseason games coming up? Any of them interest you in watching, or are you like me? You just watch for your team to see how your bubble players do?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm ready
JB,
for
I
the
don't even do
season.
that. I haven't watched 1 minute of preseason.
That's awesome.
I
haven't
really,
watched it either.
it disgusts me. It's you're filling maybe 2 spots that are up for grabs, maybe 3. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's
So
an abomination. It's a it's garbage.
For me, I like to watch it, especially this season. Just trying to get a feel for some of our rookie players, like Jermod McCoy, Hezekiah Massis, Mike Washington. Like I mean, obviously you can't say, oh, this guy's going to be good because he did good in preseason, but there's certain things you look for, like that are indicators that okay, this guy might actually pan out. Like with Fernando, right? Like he had one decent game and then one not so decent game, right? Like so, but I've seen some good things from him, and I think it's important to get him some reps.
yeah, that's what I think it's for, and I love the fact that say what you want, but the Commanders decided at the last minute to put starters in versus the Lions because they heard that most of our starters were playing, and it was a competitive game through the first half. As a matter of fact, it was competitive all the way through. 4 points decided the winner. So that being said, I will be with you soon. But have a great day, everybody. Preseason is about evaluation. It's not about entertainment as much as it is for me. I use it for evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? So, Broski, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me nowhere actually. Broski's Road. So I frequent Vikings podcasts and Carolina Panthers podcasts, as well as KCB Kneecap on KCB Sports Network, the Daily Huddle, and
Joe, tell everybody where they can find you. I know they can find you every morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, here on the KCB Sports Network with Ken and Joe.
Yeah, and then we also do an MMA podcast called MManiacs on the Huddle Sports Network on Wednesdays. So we'll be doing one today at noon Pacific. So if you're an MMA fan, come check that out.
All right, and you can always find me right here on the KCB Sports Network under my name on Facebook at Smokin' Jeremy B, or Smokin' Jeremy on Twitter. And I go live into all of my friends' Twitters that are able to go live in. You know why? Because I want to help them grow too. So have a great day, everybody. As always, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. It starts right here. Much love, everybody. Tune in 9:30 p.m. Eastern as I do my NFL Roundtable Talks, where we'll kind of have a more detailed discussion about the same topics we covered today. Because guess what? It's the NFL, and I got fans of other teams there, which makes it a more round. That's what makes it a roundtable talk. Have a great day, everybody.